Hello everyone and welcome back to another Cupid Parasite in Allan Melville's route. I was trying to think. I almost said Allan Lovecraft. I'm like, that is definitely wrong. So we're in section 3, I believe, because the last episode was 2. And I'm going to try to not, wait 7 days to wait once a week to post. So everyone kind of retired early for the night, and I just didn't feel like doing anything else either, so I was like, this is a good time to do recording because I am just way too tired in the morning when I take my daughter to school and I just go back to sleep. It looks like we're getting a little bit of a Cupid lesson here. Once upon a time, there was a very beautiful princess named Psyche. Her beauty reached even the gods of heaven, making Venus, the god of beauty, jealous. Venus, out of jealousy, plotted to make Psyche fall in love with an ugly human.
Cupid, あの醜い豚使いにプシケが恋するように金の矢を打ってちょうだい。
Yes, ma'am. Cupid, obedient to his mother, heeds her wishes and approaches Psyche with the arrow. You know, if it was a different Cupid, I don't know why they couldn't have a voice actor for him, but whatever. And just as he was about to shoot his arrow, Cupid accidentally wounds his own finger with the golden arrow. Thus began the love affair between Psyche, a human, and Cupid, a god. And she told us exactly what we already know. And the next day, is that what it said? The next day after work, I went to Pillow Luxuria by myself. Seems like a bad idea. He's like, why are you here? That's why our company is in so much trouble. Allan, please eat in moderation. Oh my goodness.
すごい顔で来たと思ったらまたその話か。
It's because you are causing so much trouble. You've been eating too much lately, haven't you? You'll get fat.
夢はいくら食べても太らないから平気さ。
But when a woman has her dreams eaten, she doesn't care about reality anymore.
よほど俺の夢はテクニシャンみたいだね。
It's what you do in your dreams.
でも普通は恋する相手と夢の中で交わったら現実の恋の相手をますます好きになるんじゃないの？
If it's in moderation, but your dreams are too intense, there's a big gap between a real-life partner and fantasy. The man in the dream is great, but the man in reality is dull. That's why they're losing interest.
へえ、なるほど。さすが上級悪魔の俺だ。現実よりも魅力的になっちゃうんだね。
He's probably a higher-ranking demon that he's letting on. I was annoyed by the smug look. There was a part of me that even thought I was being complimented on how attractive I was. Then don't eat any more dreams. When I glared at him as hard as I could, Allan smiled vaguely and rested his cheek on his palm with his elbow on the counter.
でも、夢を食べないと俺だって生きていけないんだ。最低でも1日1つは食べさせてもらえないと餓死しちゃうだろう。恋の女神キューピッド様は俺の命よりも恋心の方が大事。生きていれば恋はまた何度でもできる。でも俺は餓死すればそれまで。君とももう二度と会えなくなっちゃうんだ。
I'll never see you again. I couldn't say anything when he said it that way. It's true I don't want to starve him to death either. But I can't let him go. He has ruined too many relationships.
俺は何百年もずっとこうして生きてきたんだ。今さら変えられる生き方じゃないよ。
Then move cities. What? Hundreds of years? How old are you?
さあね。君と同い年ぐらいじゃないかな。
About your age. I don't know my age.
へえ。深海は時間の流れが感じられないんだっけ？
That's right. Anyway, enough of that. I almost got off course. Anyway, Allan, just don't go after women in love. You're interfering with our business.
でも俺言ったでしょ？君が恋をしてくれたら他の女の夢は食べないってさ。
Why does it have to be like that?
それが平和的な解決方法じゃないか。どう？ 最近気になる男とかいないの？
I don't because I'm Cupid. It's weird for our god of love to be in love, isn't it?
俺はいいと思うけどね。ギルはずっと一緒に暮らしてたんでしょ？再会して気になったりはしないの？
He's heartbroken for Claris. Besides, I can't think of Gil as a man.
男とは思えないね。かわいそうに。じゃあシェルビーは？
Mr. Snail? What are you talking about? He's married.
そういやそういうことになっていたね。じゃあラウルは？
He's like, oh yeah, I forgot. Mr. Akana is an actor. I don't want to get closer. It'd become a scandal. Also, he's a mythomaniac. I shouldn't be near him.
じゃあケイサイン君は？
He's the glamour parasite. I passed him the other day and he didn't even recognize me.
へえ、気づいてたんだ。じゃあそうだな。ピーター・フラージュは？
Enter a random person here. Peter from Lost Work TV? I don't have any contacts and we're not even friends.
なるほど。了解。君が周囲の男に全く興味なしってのがよくわかったよ。じゃあ俺はやっぱり君の会社の会員たちの夢を食って生きていくしかないようだ。
Then why do you have to target our customers? I mean, stop targeting only women in love.
でもそれが美味しいんだ。仕方ないだろ。
Love is not a spice to make a dish better. It's a unique and precious emotion. Can't you see that?
わからないね。悪魔は恋をしないんだ。だいたい恋なんて一時の感情、日の迷いだ。したいだなんて思うわけが。
Fine, I know how you think now. I interrupted his words and glared at him. So unfortunate. He can't understand through words. Well, I guess I'll have to make you experience it. Oh. I summoned my divine artifact from my pendant and pointed my arrow at Allan. You're about to find out how important love is. Prepare yourself. Allan paled at the sight of my glowing arrow. For the first time, he had a panicked expression.
それはやめてくれ。悪魔がキューピッドの矢にいられたら消滅する。
What? I tried to stop it, but it was too late. Allan's expression was filled with fear as the arrow was released. God's power is a deadly poison to demons. This is not good. I don't want to kill people. Well, it's not a person, it's a demon. No, 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 don't get hit. In a panic, I reached for the arrow and then... She's going to get hit, isn't she? She's going to get pricked. I managed to grab the arrow just before it pierced Allan. It was at that moment. Huh? This is so funny. Suddenly, my heart beat faster. The blood in my whole body became hot as if it was boiling. I looked at my hand and saw that I had grabbed the arrowhead of Cupid's arrow, the arrow that would make me fall in love. As soon as I took my hand off the arrow, Cupid's bow returned to the necklace. But the rising feeling in my heart wouldn't go away. I'm not stupid enough not to know why this is happening.
大丈夫？
Is she gonna fall in love with him? I hope it's not someone else. That would be so annoying. But man, if he would have got hit, he would have disappeared. That would have been not okay. I looked up and saw Allan, sparkling and shining. I hope she's fallen in love with him. This is funny. Maybe it's because my eyes are causing everything to look shiny. Because I hurt my hand with Cupid's arrow, I will fall in love with the person in front of me. I love... Oh no, I think I'm in love with you. I couldn't take it anymore as I clung to Allan's chest.
どういう？
Because you said demons would die when wounded by Cupid's arrow. I tried to stop it, but it looks like I was hit.
キューピッドがキューピッドの矢でいられたの。だから俺に恋をしたってこと？
Like, the screen's all shiny. That's really funny. So this is how it is. She's but she's conscious of it too, so how's that gonna work? She's conscious. Is she gonna try to fight against being in love with him? Because that would be annoying too. Yes. I looked up and saw what I thought was the coolest face in the world. I'm totally in love. I know it's the power of Cupid's arrow, but I can't stay calm. I can't erase my love. But that's what it feels like to fall in love. It was the first emotion I had ever known. My heart ached. I felt kind of embarrassed, and I was the happiest I've ever been. Normally, this is to bring people meant to be together. That's a romantic and wonderful thing. I thought on what to do, but perhaps this isn't so bad. Cupid who expresses love is much better than a Cupid who doesn't.
その顔、本気で俺のことが好きになったみたいだね。
Well, there you go. If she's in love, you can just eat her dreams, right? Allan grabs my chin and stares at me. Even his mean smile looked cool to me, and I was stunned to see it. It's like I'm blinded by this bright sunshine.
じゃあ、君の夢は美味しくなってる？試させてよ。
He's like, I want to try it right now. In the store, there is a bed for fitting. I was pushed down on it and my breathing became harder. I don't think there's a save, but let me just check. Okay, we're gonna hug him first. Allan laid on me and his eyes stared at me. His true nature as an incubus was revealed and his demon tail wagged. It wagged. That's funny. I can't resist the urge to hug him as he approaches. I reach out to him. However, my hand was avoided by him and wandered halfway through the air.
俺はインキュバスだよ。現実よりもいい夢を見せるのが得意なんだ。君は何も考えずに体を委ねて。
He smiles with his teeth showing. Oh, even that seductive look is cool. Yes, Allan. I wonder how far I should go. That's probably it. I responded obediently and let my consciousness go. Yep. So we're going to probably where this one picks up now. Alright, we're going to let yourself go. Allan laid on me and his eyes stared at me. His true nature as the incubus was revealed and his demon tail wagged. Even that's cool. Feast on me, Allan. Oh my goodness.
今夜の食事は随分と献身的みたいだね。
You know, so the Steam game I'm playing is B Rising, which is a vampire game. I don't know, I'm just obsessed with vampires. Yeah, I know. I have Vampire Sims and I'm playing B Rising, but this is like, I don't know. I say stuff like this all the time of like, I'm gonna feed on you, because it's really called feed whenever you eat the humans and stuff, and because you have a blood reserve, and when it goes low, you gotta eat on humans, and it's usually once a day. And every time you kill like a boss, you feed on their blood to gain their powers or whatever, and that's just what this reminds me of.
お望み通り、ちゃんと美味しく食い尽くしてあげるよ。
I reached for him, then I let go of my consciousness. He's going to be in her dream now, huh? Because she's in love with him. Oh, I guess we're not going to see it at all, whatever. After feasting on her dream, I ran out of the store upset. Oh, really?
なんだ、さっきの夢は。
What dream was it? I leaned my body against the store window and looked up at the sky in dismay. It was the most delicious dream I've ever had. Oh, okay. The acidity was perfect, mellow, and rich. What a dream. It was so delicious, I'm not sure if I will ever be able to eat it again. Why? Is it just going to drive you mad or something?
でも変だな。今まで俺に恋をした女の夢はこんなに美味しくなかったんだけど。
Probably because she's a god. Dreams from people who love the Dream Eater weren't as tasty as the dreams from people who loved others. This was common incubus knowledge.
キューピッドだから。神の見る夢だからなのか。
Goddesses are so beautiful and precious that they are incomparable to me, a demon. I stared at her through the glass window as she slept. This was going to turn his gaze towards her. He's just going to be like so in love with her dreams that eventually he falls in love with the dreamer. I always thought she was unapproachable because I'm a dirty demon. I've been trying to make her fall in love with someone else with some help. To make Cupid fall in love, that was my mission.
それなのに、俺に恋をするなんてな。
Yes, what do you think about this, Allan? I wanted her to fall in love with someone other than me if possible. Not me, but a human man.
でも、これで目的は達成したってことか。彼女に恋を知ってもらえたんだから。あとは、あの問題だけだよな。
This was all according to plan, except I didn't expect her to find love using Cupid's bow. Is this the right thing to do? The hesitation didn't go away. He really is a nice demon if he's hesitating so much. I woke up, and before I knew it, it was morning. My eyelids fluttered open, and I was suddenly very elated when I woke. It was because Allan was laying down on the same bed.
おはよう。よく眠れた？
Good morning. So cool. Oh my goodness. It sounds more like a schoolgirl crush than in love. After one night, the effects of Cupid's arrow hadn't worn off. I can't help but be respectful to him. Of course, that's because the effects of Cupid's arrow last for 30 days. But what do I do with this? I can use the leaden arrow to undo all of this, but I'll lose the joyous feeling of falling in and being in love. I was afraid that it would fundamentally change me and what I stood for as Cupid, so I didn't use it.
どうした？
Gently stroking my hair, Allan smiles quietly. He's not fair. He knows I like him, and yet he makes such indulgent gestures. No, it's nothing. Can I hug you?
いいよ。
He wasn't sure about this yesterday. I guess he's just not letting on about how concerned he is. Allan nodded as if it was something he was used to saying. I was filled with happiness as I hugged him. Love is such a satisfying feeling. I'm so happy I want to cry. I buried my face in his chest and kissed him on the cheek. He then chuckled and patted me on the back.
恋をすると君ってこんなに大胆になるんだ。
I know, right?
初めて食った時にも思ったけど、夢と現実の大胆さはリンクしてたみたいだね。
I didn't know either. Hey, Allan. What did you think of my dream last night?
ああ、すごく美味しかったよ。今まで食ってきた夢の中で一番。
Really?
ああ、神様がくれた運命の奇跡に感謝しなくちゃね。
His sweetly whispered voice made me feel dizzy. I'm glad to hear that my dreams taste so good. Everything turned out all right. Originally, I came to see Allan to protect the customers of Cupid Corp. It's a bit inconvenient, but I'll leave the golden arrow's effect alone. As long as I'm in love, I can protect Cupid Corp's customers. So, will you go out with me? When I looked up at him, Allan was silent for a moment, as if he was taken aback, and then he asked me back.
付き合う？俺と？
Can I not? I fell in love with you to save your life, you know? So take responsibility. From now on, only eat my dreams, okay? Yes, take responsibility like a real man. I thought I said it in a calculated way, but I started to mean it. My heart ached, and I clung desperately to him. Protecting the customer should have been my primary goal, but now I'm eager to make it official with him. Just for the next 30 days, until the effects of the arrows wear off. Go out with me and only eat my dreams. I'm sure Allan won't be able to live without my dreams. He said that mine were the best he's ever had. I know, and he's afraid of eating more of them. If this is all an excuse, I just want to be with the person I love. Even if these feelings were created by my arrow, it's a real love for me right now. Please. When I look up at him, he flinched.
俺こう見えて怖い悪魔なんだけど
He exaggerated that, didn't he? I don't mind.
神様が悪魔に恋していいと思ってるの
Well, it kind of happened anyway. I'm totally fine.
君と出会う前にはもっともっとひどいことしてきたんだけど
I will accept them all. After my determined reply, Allan gazed at me and then finally nodded.
わかったよ君もそのままじゃ辛いだろうしね
The sparkles are still on the screen. Really? I was so happy. I hugged him as tightly as I could and he panicked.
もちろん矢の効果がある30日間だけだよわかってるよね
That's plenty of time for you to fall in love. I mean, how long did it take her to fall in love with Shelby? I mean, they spent weeks at it too, but I think it was still less than a month. Yeah. For 30 days, I can be a real lover with the person I love. Just don't eat other girls' dreams. Only eat my dreams every day.
わかったよ
Make her jealous if you do. With a bitter smile, Allan pats me on the head. Good, now we don't have to lose any more members at Cupid Corp. It'll be a relief not to hear customers say my dreams are better than reality.
それより会社の時間は平気
Oh. I looked at my watch and saw that it was already time for me to leave for work. Oh no. This is a store on 9th Avenue, and even though it's closer to my office than my house, it only saves 15 minutes. I jumped out of bed and hurriedly got ready to leave. Just in time. When I reached my desk on time, I sighed deeply. I was in such a hurry that if Ryuki saw me now, I think he would frown as hard as he could. Anyway, now that the incubus won't be eating our members' dreams anymore, I can focus on matchmaking properly. I started my work as usual, however, I couldn't devote myself 100% as I normally did. This is due to the magic of love. Yeah, you're distracted now. As the popular line goes, I can't think about anything else because all I can think about is him. I wonder how Allan's doing right now. As I was working in a daze, I suddenly noticed a file left on my desk. This is the folder where I filed my Parasite 5 profile sheets. Because they left our service, I think it was my responsibility to discard them. I can sneak a little peek at Allan's profile sheet though, can't I? I looked around before unfolding the profile sheet. Look at her face. Just by looking at the words Allan had written, I could feel my heart ache as if it were tightening. He says alcohol often, but I don't think I've ever heard him talk about alcohol at all. I mean, they had some alcohol at Parasite House, but that's it. Dreams are so delicious. Oh, and a nice big bubble tea. That's funny. One time, no idea. I just had to catch up on some of the things Allan wrote, because that was a long time ago that I read it. I read through the sheet meticulously for the sake of the interview prep, to the point that I could have burnt holes into it, but now it feels different. This is love. It's the emotion I've recommended to so many people. Allan doesn't like cucumbers, and his height is 5'11". My heart was beating faster and faster as I felt like I was learning something new about him, even though I already knew this information. I'm very happy, but this is exhausting. I desperately squeezed my eyes shut, unable to endure all of this heartfelt love. Despite my confused feelings, my whole body was swept up in feelings of adoration. My cheeks were burning, my head was hot, my breathing was shallow, and my heart was pounding. I wonder if someone's going to see her and think that she's sick and make her go home. Cupid's arrows are powerful, aren't they? It might not be wise to use them carelessly. The effects are not good for everyday life. Maybe I could have persuaded Dad by shooting him with an arrow. Power of gods can betray one's intentions. Over-reliance on my arrows would be unwise even for compatible couples.
なんか今日あなた可愛くない？
Huh? I put down the profile sheet and looked up to see Clarice chuckling at me.
恋してる人の顔してるわ。お相手は昨日泊まった家の人かしら。
Of course, yeah, she didn't come home, did she? What? Oh, what? Well, that is, her eyes lit up when I struggled with my words.
おめでとう。じゃあ同棲しちゃいなよ。泊まってきたってことは両思いなんでしょ？
Live together. That might be a good idea since he needs to eat my dreams every day. Allan's gonna be like, oh my goodness, woman, you're moving too fast. I feel like it's too early to truly call it love. Still, even though it's only for 30 days, we decided to go out. He also assured me that he would only eat my dreams. I guess it's a mutual benefit for us. I'm going to ask him if I can stay over tonight. I pull out my phone and send a text asking if I can see him again tonight. He received with a quick OK reply. I felt my cheeks relax when I saw Allan's name displayed in the cinder field.
本当に好きなのね。ちゃんと捕まえておきなさいよ。私のことは気にしなくていいから。
Yeah, she'll just start bringing guys over to the apartment instead. With a meaningful wink, Clarice went off with her heels clicking. Clarice is much more experienced with men than I am. She instantly knew that I was in love. Did I look that obvious? I looked at my phone and saw Allan's text message on the screen. A smile appeared on my face that was so giddy it was obvious to everyone. Yep, been there, done that. After leaving work and returning home, I went to Allan's store with my sleepover set. Oh, really? Bring your pajamas. When I gently opened the door and peeked inside, Allan was serving a customer. I watched from a short distance as a customer lay down on the fitting bed to try out a pillow.
あら、この枕すっごく気持ちいい。肩も凝らなそうね。
If he eats her dreams, she's going to give you an earful.
ええ。他に低反発枕なども取り揃えておりますが、そちらも試されますか？もし音など気にならないようでしたら、ストロー状のパイプなどもおすすめですよ。丈夫なので長持ちしますし。
でもこれをいただいていくわ。そろそろ帰らなきゃいけないの。
かしこまりました。それではお包みいたしますね。
お願い。これで今晩からぐっすり寝られそうね。
Allan was serving customers without his usual allure. He wasn't trying to entice them into the bed to feed. He was keeping his promise. Well, that's good. I'm so glad.
本日はお買い上げありがとうございました。またのご来店をお待ちしております。
またダメになったら来るわね。そういう意味では長持ちしないものにしてよかったわ。長持ちされたらここに来る理由が作れないもの。
お上手ですね。メンテナンスなども受け付けてますので、ダメにならなくともお気軽にお越しください。
How do you maintenance a pillow? You just like add more stuffing in it?
そうなの？じゃあ近々また来るわね。
As the customer left, I entered the store. I stared a little at the female customer whose words were suggesting some sort of attraction to Allan. I guess this feeling is also part of being in love, the jealousy of wanting someone to only look at you. No, I have to keep an open mind.
ああ、おかえり。
That's funny. Here I am. I can feel my cheeks heating up at the mere mention of welcome from him. This is not good. I have a feeling I will listen to everything Allan would say right now, even if he was being reckless. That's how powerful love is. My body is dominated by the thought of not wanting him to hate me. I can't wait for this to wear off, but this is the only way to protect people's dreams.
じゃあ2階に行こうか。もう寝る？
Straight upstairs, huh? Oh, I haven't eaten yet. Shoot, I should have eaten. Allan is an incubus. I was just taught that he doesn't need to eat human food. Well, I'm also a goddess. I don't really need to eat too, but I can't help it though. Being in the human realm makes me hungry.
そっか、そうだったな。 じゃあ買い出しに行くか。実は冷蔵庫に今何もないんだ。明日の朝食のこともあるしさ。
With a natural flow, Allan hugs me by the waist. Like a boyfriend, he would take care of me. That made me happy, so I smiled and nodded. Well, I think I'm going to enjoy this if they're already acting like a couple. Hopefully it lasts. Hopefully the 30 days lasts the whole route. Then we went to the supermarket together to buy some food. The two of us pushed the cart and bought tomatoes and pork for breakfast. I also bought some wine and cheese for us to enjoy together. It's an unnecessary meal for Allan, but he's willing to talk about my ideal evening meal. I asked Allan to carry the heavier bag, and we walked back to his store holding hands. Allan, I'll cook, so please sit down and wait. Rolling up my sleeves, I stood in front of the stove.
俺が作るよ。
It's okay, leave it to me. Even though Allan has a good taste in cooking, it's not enough for me. He cooks food with disregards for nutrients. He doesn't know what the human body needs. I wanted to have someone I like cook for me, but because I saw a lot of food at the supermarket, I couldn't resist the desire to indulge. You don't go shopping when you're hungry, that's the worst thing.
キューピッドなのに料理できるんだ。
Of course, even Cupid gets hungry in the human realm.
ほんと、悪魔と神って結構違うね。
I noticed Allan was standing behind me. He stuck to my back and observed my hands.
へえ、君はそうやってジャガイモの芽を取るんだ。
He placed his hand on my stomach. He hugged me from behind and whispered in my ear. That was enough to get my heart rate up. Oh my goodness. I know, someone hugging you from behind talking to you. It's very intoxicating. I'm so nervous.
ああ、ズッキーニの皮は剥かなくていいと思うよ。キューカンバーと似てるけど、カボチャの仲間だって知ってた？
Oh, really?
前に調べたから間違いないよ。それと、ピーラーの持ち方はこうした方がいい。
The person who doesn't need to cook is showing her how to peel a zucchini. His hand gently traces the back of my hand as he whispers in my ear.
何?
He's doing that on purpose. It's nothing. If he keeps talking to me like this, I won't be able to ask him for some space while I cook since it's a bit unsafe. He won't be able. Feeling Allan's warmth on my back, I struggled to keep my composure and continued cooking. But I couldn't help but feel hot all over. The person I love is hugging me from behind.
ローズマリーで香り付けするんだね。これが食欲をそそる匂いってことか。経験できてよかったよ。
I couldn't concentrate at all because he was always giving me feedback. I clenched my teeth and tried my best to control my emotions, and yet...
料理、上手だね。
He's gotta be doing this on purpose. He just knows. This is how you tease a woman. He just knows this. He suddenly kissed my ear and I froze completely. That's not fair. You're just my temporary boyfriend. He just wants to feed from me. To an incubus, a woman with dreams of love is nothing but food to them. I'm sure he's done this before. That's why he touches me so casually. He's really sly. I'd rather have a business-like relationship. But if he continues being sweet to me, I'll want more. I'm not going to be able to keep my cool. My emotions are soaring and plummeting like a roller coaster, and I feel like I'm about to be swept off my feet. Here, it's done. Oh, I'm sure that you'll get swept off your feet. He's very good at this. Resisting temptation, I finished cooking the food and placed it on the table. A simple meal of minestrone, bread, and sautéed pork with herbs. Also some of the cheese and wine. Would you like some?
そうだね。せっかくだし、もらおうかな。
Allan served himself a small portion and took a seat. Then we faced each other and began to eat.
へえ。君の味付けはこんな感じなんだね。
He ate with a happy smile on his face. As a demon, he likely doesn't taste a single bit of the food, but was quick to praise my cooking. I felt a small pain in my chest at the sight of him. At Parasite House, you said that you used to have a girl cook for you. I can't help but wonder how many women have received the same kind of behavior. She's comparing herself now. I assumed a lot of women cooked for him, and at night Allan would feed on their dreams. Wonder if he kisses them too. No, jealousy is just exhausting. I'm just in love because of Cupid's arrow. Don't let unnecessary feelings grow. There's no way to end jealousy. It's a feeling I've already shaken off before, but because I like him, I get curious. You just ask him. Come on, Cupid, you're just in love by mistake. Still, I can't help but be curious. How has he been treating women so far? Is he just using them for food, or... Aww. It's driving her nuts. It bothered me and I couldn't eat at all, so this is what they call love sickness. I was so hungry earlier, but I lost my appetite. Poor Lynette. Then we finished our small evening meal together and we took turns taking showers, preparing for the evening. I changed into my pajamas and was ready for bed. However, I lingered on the couch. Because sleeping meant having my dreams eaten by Allan, which means I'll be making love with him in my dream. At the moment, he held his hand out in front of me, a more rugged hand that is bigger than mine, a man's hand.
じゃあ、寝よっか。
I know, now she's seeing... now she's experiencing this while she's in love with him, and she knows what's going to happen in her dreams, so she's just like, this has got to be insufferable to her. Okay. I stood up from the couch and headed towards the bed, for him to feed on me.
ほらおいで。キスをしよう。
Incubus are said to appear in dreams as your ideal partner. Now that I was in love with Allan, he looked like Allan in my dream. Oh no, it's even worse now. When I closed my eyes, his lips were on mine, a kiss like a touch of cotton that I had many times in my dream. It feels good, I think. Since it was a dream, it's fluffy and elusive, and when I wake up, I forget this feeling. I'm kissing the man I love. I can't believe this isn't real. I wish I could remember this experience outside of the dream. Well, it's not going to take you long to probably find out, I'm sure. Sometimes I can remember these dreams for a while, but they fade away over time, and only a sweet, happy feeling remains. This creates a notable difference between dreams and reality, and that's why women were becoming dissatisfied with real life.
ほら、集中して。上に乗ってごらん。
We intertwine our fingers, kiss, and I sit on him. I'm supposed to be in the arms of someone I love, but I feel lonely because this is not reality. Though it is a situation where I am being held by someone I love, even if it is a dream. But because she knows it's a dream, it's going to have like the opposite effect on her. She wants it in reality because it doesn't fade in reality. For some reason, I wanted to cry and clung to him in my dream. I felt so good that I almost forgot myself, but I still remembered that I was dreaming. Why doesn't he let me immerse myself more? It's a dream, you know. Regardless, I continued to seek him greedily. I woke up suddenly. Is it still nighttime? I turned towards the window and saw Allan standing there. He gazed absently at the moon. The moonlight washed over him so that I couldn't see the expression on his face. So I got the sense that he was lonely somehow. Does Allan ever sleep? Since he was an incubus, maybe he slept all day and only woke up at night. Although when we were at Parasite House, he was always awake during the afternoon. Maybe he didn't need to sleep after all. After all, he didn't need to eat.
起きちゃった。
Seeing that I was awake, he turned to look at me. Yeah.
まだ深夜だから。寝てていいよ。
I sat up on the bed. He came over and started stroking my hair. His touch was gentle, as if I were a child. The look of genuine compassion in his eyes almost made me recoil. He's really capable of such an expression. He just kept stroking my hair, and I can't deny how relaxing the sensation was. I could feel my eyelids getting heavy again. Allan? Please stay with me.
もちろんだよ。どこにも行かないから。安心しておやすみ。リネット。
Okay, good night. I smiled as his hand continued to caress me. The person I love her for 30 days. He acts as if he's in love with me, but he's just pretending so that he can feed off of the most delicious dreams ever. In my dreams, we touch each other with such intimacy, but in the real world, we hardly ever come into contact. And of course, we haven't kissed yet. My heart started to ache again. I pulled the blanket up over me, feeling neither sadness nor loneliness. All I felt were his hands touching me, and as I surrendered my head to the pillow he had chosen for me. One page from a lover. Well, I guess we're continuing on because I still don't have a CG yet. So even though I want to make short episodes now, the game is going to continue to force me to make 1.5 2-hour videos anyway. That's how the next few days passed. I started my daily routine of letting Allan devour my dreams. So he's so he's eating you in the morning instead.
という感じで彼女からも返事をもらいまして、また彼女と付き合えるようになったんですよ。
Congratulations. On this day, I was working as usual. Not fully in my work mode yet, but I tried to direct my attention to the customer in front of me as much as possible. And I heard from the previous customer who had been robbed by Allan that he was able to get back together with his girlfriend. I'm glad they didn't stay broken up.
いやー、試しに連絡取ってみるものですね。なので次の彼女の誕生日にはプロポーズをするつもりです。アドバイザーさん、いいデートスポットとプレゼント用の指輪のアドバイスお願いします。
Leave it to me. I worked tirelessly to support the members who had gotten back together, because the incubus is no longer eating dreams. I contacted former members since the effects of the dream had worn off, and I sat in on discussions with couples who had broken up. Everyone came back to me saying I must have been crazy to think that dreams are better than reality. It's like Happily Ever After in, like, episode 3. The number of new member registrations, which is stagnant, is steadily increasing, and the number of cancellations is decreasing. As an advisor and the real Cupid, it's a pleasure to be able to support people's love. If I keep up, I'll get promoted. I'm going to prove my dad wrong. I no longer believe that gods needed to intervene. Love connections can be done by humans. Also in the human realm, I'm not being pressured by mom or dad. We've even managed to solve the problem despite the incubus's interference without using divine powers. But what happens after 30 days though? If I'm in love, this should keep other women safe. It's thanks to Cupid's arrow now, but love can occur without it as well. Incubus, huh? I felt my cheeks warming up, remembering the moment from my dream. Oh my goodness. The music just suddenly changes. The person I love embraces me and kisses me every night, even though it's a dream. But I'm spending time with someone I love every night. No, this is all because of the arrow. This is part of my work. After 30 days, the arrow's effect will wear off. I shook my head and turned back to my work, then I noticed something. Wait, if the effect wears off in 30 days and I fall out of love, will he feed off of other women's dreams again? There we go. She finally figured it out. No, from the start. Maybe he was the reason why the marriage rate had been declining. People can live without the gods, but with demons present, perhaps it would make their lives a little harder. When I did my research on demons, I read a lot about the sins they committed. I wonder what demons are. Maybe I'll ask my aunt next time. With that in mind, I went back to work, shaking off my yearning for Allan. Don't worry, you'll be satisfied soon enough, I'm sure. I'm home. When I returned, the smell of a delicious meal awaited me. Oh, he cooked for her. Taking off his apron, Allan greets me.
おかえり。ご飯できてるよ。
That's so cute. He made me dinner?
まあね。君がお腹空かせてるだろうなって思ったんだ。
I'm sure that he's treating you different than other women. He actually cares. Allan doesn't need to eat, so since that day I had been cooking and eating alone, and yet he cooked for me today. I was so happy I hugged him. Thank you.
リネット。
Oh, he blushed. Oh, that just made me so happy. His blush and his unsure response. I love it. It was unexpected. I was surprised to hear the confusion in his voice. When I looked up curiously, Allan looked a little troubled. Looks like he's even startled. Even though in my dreams he does so many things like this and that. Also, he would do whatever he wants to with me, like holding my waist and touching me. He might even be a softie and a pushover. I was happy to know a new side of him and hugged him again. So warm.
そうだね。
I know, he's comfortable in the dream life because that's just where he feels like he belongs, and like it, because it's not real to him, I guess, is why he's so comfortable. But this is reality. A real god is hugging him. He doesn't know what to do. His voice sounded a little sad. I wonder what he's thinking about right now.
ほら、ご飯が冷めるよ。食事にしよう。
Okay. He passed me on the back and moves away from me. I was already missing his fading warmth when he held out his hand to me, gazing at me with the gentlest, kindest eyes. He took me by the hand and guided me to the table. Being such a gentleman now, it's like a complete opposite of what he was in the common route. And the next day, I woke up feeling refreshed again. I had been sleeping so well for the first time recently since I arrived to the human realm. The dream felt better, huh? It was a feeling of euphoria that made me understand the feelings of the members who raved about their dreams. There was an enveloping happiness and a lukewarm comfort. All thanks to Allan for giving me good dreams. When I was lying on the bed, Allan sat beside me. His hand gently combed my hair.
今日休みなんでしょ。だったら二人で買い物にでも行かない。今日うちも休業日だからさ。
Is it Thursday? I think I reread on his profile sheet that he said the shop's closed on Thursday. Is it okay?
恋人同士だろ。
Yes. It's only for 30 days. But he knew I was in love with him, and Allan seemed to act like a proper lover. So not fair. It's probably nothing to Allan. He became my lover, like a doctor prescribing me medicine. Oh my goodness. It'll take forever to get that kiss, isn't it? How about we take a look at the shops on 7th Avenue?
了解。
He strokes my cheek and kisses my forehead. But he would never kiss me directly. Even when we became lovers, he kept a distance. He pampered me like a lover, but no kissing, no real making out. The reason I feel unsatisfied is because of Cupid's arrow. Yes, that's right. I shouldn't let my emotions get me. I thought to myself that this was all fake and then realized something. The emotions created by Cupid's arrow was real. The god of love bestows love through the arrows. This is something I knew was true. It's not fake, but it's not real either. I wonder what it feels like when the effects of my arrows wear off. Does my love suddenly disappear completely? Or will the feelings linger? My arrows are meant for compatible couples, so perhaps by the time the effects fade, they'll have developed their feelings enough to stay in love. I'm Cupid, and yet I don't know anything about my powers. Maybe this is a test from the gods. Perhaps they want to see if I truly know what love is.
ほら、起きて顔洗っておいで。
Okay. I got out of bed, ate a quick breakfast, and got ready for the day. Then Allan and I went out on our shopping date.
De? 今日はどんなところに行きたいですか? Our honey?
That's quite the fuzzy sweater he's got on, huh? Allan held out his hand to me with his other hand on his chest as if he were a prince. It's frustrating, but he looks good. I took his hand and grasped it like a lover. Is there any place you want to go?
君が行きたいところかな。それと、ずっと気になってるんだけど、君はいつ俺のことをアランって呼んでくれるの？恋人同士でアランさんは逆に変でしょ？
I heard his name twice. Oh, actually, my husband told me that when you referred to yourself or whatever, there's really no you or me in Japanese, so they just say their names. I thought for a second he was asking her to just call him Allan, but she never even said anything like that. Huh? It's just habit.
じゃあその癖は昨日までのものにして、今日からは俺のことアランって呼んで。
Okay, maybe he did ask her to call him Allan. But... Allan... gonna make her fall even more in love with you.
よくできました。
He smiled and hugged me by the waist. I knew he was sly, but I liked him. I couldn't help but consider him cool. Okay, Allan, I want to visit that store over there.
了解。Our honey.
Our darling. Why didn't he call me my darling? It's not like I'm being shared. Yeah, soon enough, I didn't care much about trivial things. We window shopped, sticking together as tightly as we could and looking completely like a couple. I'm so happy. Occasionally, I would look at the reflections of the two of us in the mirror or window and smile. Just walking around with the person you love makes you so happy. Oh, and that interior design store is so cute. Can we check it out? Speaking of walking around and going shopping with the one you love. My anniversary is this Sunday, so I'm looking forward to it. I told him I want to go out on a date because I haven't been on a date in a long time. Like a proper date. We go and eat expensive food, and like we usually go to like dinner and a movie, and that's like really cliche now. So I want to like go to a proper restaurant. We usually go to like a sushi bar or something, or a Japanese steakhouse, but that's like been the same for like many years in a row now. I want to go somewhere different.
もちろん。
When I entered the store, I found a colorful array of interior goods. From curtains to cushions, aroma oil lamps, and luncheon mats. A teaspoon in the shape of a cat, and mugs for two. A mug. Oh, I was wondering if there's a choice coming up because it delayed. The mug I was interested in was the one of a single winged angel on it. It was the product for couples, as one mug had only a single one-winged angel, but when put together, it looks like they're holding hands. One-winged angels can't fly alone, so they fly together holding hands. In other words, it's a mug that can't stand on its own. It's a very romantic creation. I wanted to buy a matching pair with Allan, but then I realized quickly. No, I can't buy something that will last. We're done with all of this in 30 days.
どうした？欲しいものでもあった？
I became suspicious of Allan's question as if he could see into my heart. There's a choice. Okay. Again, no save file, so we're going to be honest. Yes, I was wondering about this mug. When I answered honestly, he was a little surprised, and then he became pensive. I guess Allan wanted to avoid items that would remain after our temporary love. I was a little sad, but when I tried to reiterate that I had just noticed it, he realized something and smiled.
いいんじゃない？片翼の一対の天使か。部屋のインテリアにも合いそうだし、可愛いの見つけたね。 片翼の天使のモチーフって結構多いよね。どうして天使は二人で一組のように描かれるんだろうね。
Let's see if it connects now with the other choices. The real choices lie. I'll choose that one next. Might add something else. Huh? It's nothing. I'm just a little curious about that. I quickly placed the mug down and pointed to a pillow.
え？あの枕が気になるの？枕ならいくらでも君にぴったりなのを作ってあげるのに。
I looked a little grumpy as if he thinks he's not satisfying me. No, that was just a joke. I am actually interested in this. I pointed to the set of industrial cleaning products, including a 20-liter detergent and a stick with no discernible use. A stick?
そんなに俺の部屋汚れてたかな。確かに物は多いけど、あれはインテリアだし、ちゃんと毎日埃も払ってるんだけど。
Now you're insulting him. Oh no, it's clean. I think your room would get perfect score even from Gil who loves cleaning. He realizes that I'm making things up, so he turns to me.
それで？本当は？
Sorry, it's the smug.
へえ、天使の柄のマグカップか。片翼の一対の天使になってるのがおしゃれでいいんじゃない？片翼の天使のモチーフって結構多いよね。どうして天使は二人で一組のように描かれるんだろうね。
Alright, back to the top. We're just going to flat out lie to him. Lie. Whoa, it's nothing. It's nothing. I'm just curious about this. I hurriedly put down the mug and picked up the item next to it instead.
それが欲しいの？
Huh? I looked at the item, which was a rubber chicken doll. Apparently, it was called a screaming rubber chicken. Oh my goodness. When I pushed it, it made a loud noise.
欲しいなら買ってあげるけど。
That's funny. He's like, I mean, if you really want it. No, I'm fine. I squeezed it again. An indescribable noise echoed through the store.
君が本当に欲しいのはこっちでしょ。
Allan spotted the mug next to me and picked it up. That is...
へえ、天使の柄なんだ。しかも片翼の一対の天使か。可愛いのに目をつけたね。片翼の天使のモチーフって結構多いよね。どうして天使は二人で一組のように描かれるんだろうね。
Maybe it's because the pair looks more romantic, like lovers? But when you think about it, angels are often depicted as genderless creatures, so it's strange to see them as a motif for lovers. If I wanted to redesign them, I could have used Mars and Venus, but it's usually angels that humans prefer as a motif for their lovers. I think wings are more appealing, so I can see why angels are more popular with humans than gods.
君は神なのに意外と考え方は論理的というか科学的なんだね。
Oh yeah?
普通羽のありなしで人気度は考えないと思うよ。
Feminist.
でも確かにこのマグカップは可愛いね。ちょうど一緒にコーヒーを飲むのに揃いがなくて不便だったし買っていこう。
Allan places the mugs in the shopping cart. We're a 30-day only couple, so it feels wrong to purchase items that would outlast our temporary love. But I'm happy, so I can't argue.
そうだ、コーヒー豆も切らしてたんだ。後で買って帰ろうか。
But do you even drink coffee? Then why don't we buy a cake as well? I like to have it at home with you.
いいね。ケーキなら2番街にあるピエール・ショルメロ産ヨークが俺は好きなんだけど。
You know, for someone who doesn't eat human food, he knows where a good cake store is. I agree, I like their cakes too. Coffee. Gary Cormet, Lost York, is a very popular sweet shop among women and famous for its cakes made with macaroons. The fact that Allan, who doesn't eat, knows about it must be due to the influences of the woman he was previously with. Okay, well that makes sense, I guess. It's funny that it was brought up though. I replied in a cheerful voice, trying not to let him know that I was feeling like the sweet buttercream in the macaroon. Okay.
じゃあ決まりだ。遠いから地下鉄に乗る？
What do you usually do?
俺はバイクに乗っていくことが多いかな。シェアサイクルが好きなんだ。
I think he mentioned that on our last practice date. Then I like to use the rental bikes too.
いいの？
Yes. If experiencing his daily life myself makes me feel so happy, I want to know what he usually does and sees.
じゃあ今アプリで検索しとくよ。俺の気に入ってる車種があるポートは。
Oh, I see. He did mention that you can search for your favorite bike on the app. He says some awful things about how he wished that there was an app, such an app for women. But in actuality, he just wanted a woman in love list for his dream eating. Well, that's bad enough, but he doesn't need to know that now that I'm in love with him.
あ、この近くにあるね。じゃあバイク借りてこ。
Yes. We then rode side by side on our shared bikes through the streets of Lost York. From 7th Avenue to 5th Avenue. Here we go again. From 5th Avenue to 4th Avenue. It was refreshing to see the small street scenes that I usually don't notice. The breeze is nice, the flowers peeking through the brick walls are pretty, and bicycles are great. You're just seeing everything through rose-tinted glasses. As I pedaled my bike and enjoyed the outdoors with all my senses, I heard Allan chuckle.
楽しそうにバイクに乗るね。
I didn't know bike riding felt so good. I wish I'd known earlier.
あれ？もしかしてあんまり乗らない？
Maybe a few times in college.
へえ。それにしては漕ぎ方が上手だ。
Even his casual words make my heart flutter. The compliment from him is enough to make me feel like I could fly.
ってこらこら、こっち向いてちゃ危ないよ。前を向いて。
Ah. I realized I wasn't paying attention until Allan pointed it out. Love really can be tricky, but it can also provide so much happiness. I set out for 2nd Avenue, enjoying my time cycling with my favorite person as much as I could. He's just the coolest man in the whole world. It feels more like, so she says that she's in love with him, but the way it's translated into English makes it sounds like she idolizes him more than anything. Shopping and riding bikes together, we were like newlyweds. Feeling the nice breeze of Lost York, we bought our cake from the shop on 2nd Avenue and came back home. I brewed a pot of coffee to go with the cake, and we had our drinks in the matching mugs that we had bought. Delicious.
やっぱりここのマカロンチーズケーキが一番味がするな。
Allan happily munched on the cake, which made him look so innocent. It's surprising that you like sweet things. Oh, thought it'd be sour for you, right? I remember he described that black tapioca in bubble tea was sour.
ああ、そうかもしれないな。君の夢も酸っぱいしね。
He just has his taste mixed up. That's so.
なあ、酸っぱくてとろみがあって極上の味だよ。このクリームみたいに。
You need to set him straight. He licked the cream off of his lips and then looked at me bewitchingly. Every gesture he made was sexy, but he never touched me. Surprisingly, he doesn't do anything bad to me. He's a demon and a thieving parasite, so I thought I'd be in trouble, but now I'm at the height of my happiness. And I'm pretty sure with this cake, the sourness Allan is talking about is probably sweetness. Oh, but that means...
ああ、そうかもしれないな。君の夢も甘いしね。
Why does it say Allan Melville question mark?
ああ、甘くて、とろみがあって、極上の味だよ。このクリームみたいに。
If you replace sour with sweet, it becomes 2,000 times more bewitching. Maybe it's better to keep it this way. To drown out my imagination, I took a bite of my Melville slice and and stared at his real face.
どうした?
Nothing. I just thought you looked cool.
そっか。
The bewitching look in his eyes was instantly replaced by an embarrassed expression.
君も可愛いよ。
Aww. The fact that he blushed while saying that, he's not pretending. There's no way, because he's said much worse things to girls and not blushed. The way he spoke was familiar as usual, but the expression on his face was a little sheepish. You know, I wonder if he's keeping his distance because, you know, yeah, he pretends to be in love with women and he entices them, brings them back to bed, does whatever, but I think it's the fact that he feels like she's so pure that he doesn't want to ruin it. That's what I think. She's a god, and he probably knows that she's a virgin, and it feels like her first time with a demon would be like way like the worst thing that could happen to her. That's my guess anyway. An incubus and a predatory parasite. He's the man renowned for his playboy behavior, but it turns out that he has a purer side to him. I really like that part of him. Want her to kiss him. After finishing the cake, Allan left the table.
コーヒーおかわり入れる?
Yes, please.
じゃあ入れてくるよ。
Thank you. I'm so happy. I absolutely stare at the back of the person I love standing in the kitchen. Suddenly I noticed a paper bag placed at the entrance of the room. What's this? I felt bad, but I was curious, so I took a sneak peek. There was a colorful box. Colored rubber bracelets. The familiar package brought back the memories of the TV commercials I had seen so many times. How dare you peek?
はい、ロサンヨークの君たち。今日はこのカラーゴムブレスレットを紹介するよ。これはラバーバンドを組み合わせて自分だけのオリジナルのブレスレットを作れるんだ。とっても楽しいだろう。ぜひお友達や恋人と一緒に世界でたった一つだけのブレスレットを作ってみてくれ。
I think that's what Mr. Bomber said in the commercial.
ああ、そうそう。それ、君にあげようと思ってたんだ。実は常連客に彼女ができたって言ったら、もらっちゃってさ。
Huh? You told a customer that you had a girlfriend now, even though you're a temporary lover? Can I open it?
どうぞ。
That was so loud. I took it and looked at the instructions on the back of the box. It's easier than I thought, and you can make so many different kinds. It's so cute. I felt the urge to make one welling up.
一緒に作ってみる?
Is it okay?
俺もやってみたいからさ。
I never thought that I would see Allan making a rubber bracelet with Cupid. This is going to be our screenshot. Then, yes. We were both making bracelets. Next, do this here. Let's see. It's like one of those like weaver kits or whatever that tells you how to, like on on a plastic board or something.
へえ、その色を使うんだ。
Yes, because this color goes well with your clothes.
俺にくれるの？
You don't want it.
いや、嬉しいよ。ただ、君に何かもらえると思ってなかったからさ。少し驚いただけだ。
They're so cute together right now. Why do I feel like this is the calm before the storm? Allan took the colored bands and showed them to me.
じゃあ俺は君に似合うのを作ろうかな。
Like, I feel like a god's gonna just come in and like rain on their parade in the middle of this route. Are you sure?
それで交換しよ
Trade. I was thinking that would be great, so I couldn't help but smile when he suggested it. I'll make you a very nice one.
う。俺も君を危険から遠ざけられるようにって願いを込めて作るよ。
Allan strokes my cheek lightly with a smile. Perhaps he's kinder than I thought. Normally a person wouldn't pretend to be lovers with someone affected by Cupid's arrow. Yeah, it does seem a little weird. I don't know. Maybe he's just playing nice so that way he can take your bow. I don't know. Because he himself was not shot by the arrow. Despite being an incubus and a demon, he must be a good person. Once I was convinced of it, I continued to make bracelets with Allan.
次はここに引っ掛けるのかな。スリーウェイっていう編み方が君に似合うかと思うんだけど、これ案外難しいね。対象年齢6歳以上って本当なの？人間ってずいぶん若い頃から手先が器用なんだね。
The colored bands are so small, it's easier for children to handle them.
ああ、そうか。指に引っかかりきらなくて何度もやり直すのに時間かかってるかもな。ここで仮止めして。リネット、ちょっと腕貸して。
Ah. With a nudge, Allan takes my hand naturally and without hesitation. That's why I'm so nervous. I could tell that he's unconsciously grabbing my hand.
このレッドよりブルーの方が似合いそうだね。入れ替えるからもう少し時間ちょうだい。
Yeah, thanks. And he's even going to change the bracelet design to fit me. It's just for fun, but he's taking it seriously, even though, unlike me, he's not in love. What color do you want? What kind of wish shall I make? A nice and gentle time passed. It was such a happy time for me, I wanted to cry. Complete.
俺のも完成だ。
After a long time, we finally finished our color bracelets. In the beginning, we chatted while making them, but in the end, we were both so focused that we were completely silent. Phew, concentrating. It takes so much brain power. I rolled over to a nearby couch and took a break. Then I held my bracelet up to the light to see how it turned out. Not bad, right? This bracelet was made to remind me of the person that I loved. I made it purple as the base color. I was confident in my work, but when it came time to hand it over, I felt uneasy. I hope he likes it. As I was inspecting the work with some concern, Allan came over to me lying on the sofa.
完成したのつけてくれないの？
His hair brushed my cheek as he gazed at my face from above. His red eyes that were like the setting sun were looking into me. I just thought that I'd take a break. With a chuckle, Allan stroked my cheek. I took his hand. Can I put it on?
ちょうだい。
And he put on the bracelet. Allan stared at it and squinted happily. The look of sincere happiness on him made me smile too.
ありがとう。宝物にするよ。じゃあ君も手を出して。
Yes. I held up my hand and Allan graciously put the bracelet on my wrist. It's a cobalt blue and white bracelet. We exchanged bracelets as if it were a ceremony. Cute. Thank you, Allan.
他の悪魔を避けられるようにきちんと俺の力を込めておいたから外さないようにね。
Why do I feel like he's cursed it? Really? I tried to check, but I had no idea what a demon's energy signature was like. If it were a god's power, I would know it, but I don't know anything about demons. Other demons, huh? Are there really that many demons out there?
まあね、ここにもいるし近所にもいるかもしれない。案外君の近くに潜んでいるかもよ。
Like Claris? No way. You're enough, Allan.
でも確かに悪魔は当たり前にいる存在なんだ。そして悪魔にとって神様の魂はとっておきのごちそうなんだ。まあ君はその寝具があるから大丈夫だろうけどね。
Why do I feel like that he is after her soul? I feel like this route's going to turn very dark. Once he gets her artifact away, he's just going to desire her soul. I don't know. He points to keep his bow around my neck.
悪魔はその寝具には絶対に触れない。でも何があるかわからないからね。そのブレスレットは手放さないで。
He's marked you with the bracelet. The other demons know to stay away. Yes, understood. Hey, Allan, what kind of creature is a demon? I researched them the other day, but I couldn't understand what was written in the books. Have you always been here like the gods, or do you have a place to live like Celestia? Oh. Yep, the underworld. After a moment, he smiled sarcastically.
どうだろうね。
Doesn't talk about it. After a brief response, Allan got it from the couch. Suddenly felt a distance grow between us, even though we had sat so close earlier.
悪魔は人間や神の敵だって覚えていればそれでいいよ。ほら、それよりシャワー浴びよう。たまには一緒に入るかい？アワーハニー。
Oh, now he's making passes at her. I could take one myself.
残念。
With a fluttering wave, Allan walked into the bathroom. Maybe he didn't want me to ask about demons. His reaction worried me. The sound of the shower coming through the door made me feel a little awkward as I wondered about demons. Should have gone in. That day after eating her dream, I was riding my bike alone through the city. I often cycle like this when looking for a woman and love to feast on as an incubus. And that's something I haven't been doing at all lately.
参ったな。
I wasn't going to be able to hold my own if I didn't do this. She's so lovely, and pretending to be her lover is something I can't keep faking.
いくらなんでも浮かれすぎだろう。アラン・メルヴィル。
Disciplining myself, I pedal my bike, but I can't help but be cheerful. I'm in love with her, even if it's just pretending. Oh, really? So he's already in love with her, huh? This is news. This is good news, right? Maybe he's not going to steal her soul. Maybe he's going to protect her against someone trying to steal it. Oh, go back. But the girl I've always wanted to be with. Really, I think he's no... Does he really know her? Has he always been in love with her since the beginning? Like Gil?
振りには慣れてたはずなんだけどな。
When I first started eating dreams as a demon, I would sometimes trick people by posing as their lover. The dreams of a woman in love were often eaten by higher-ranking demons before anyone else. So I figured I could at least eat the dreams of those in love with me. As a long-time fake lover, I should be used to pretending, to deceive, to lie. But not anymore, because I'm dealing with that girl. I'm not lying. I seriously want to spoil her so badly that I'm almost tempted to touch her. I want to kiss her. Whether it's her sleeping so vulnerably or happy munching on a meal I've cooked for her, I want to reach out and hug her. I promised her that it would only be for 30 days. My heart raced from wanting to be a real lover.
悪魔が 神に恋するなんてね。
Well, this is definitely news. I didn't think he would be in love with her yet. Where's this going to go? I never thought I'd want to kiss her. She's just someone to watch over. I had no intention of being in love. I'm so confused. Like, he wants to protect her because he knows her from the past, but yet he wants to take away her bow so he can get to Celestia. I don't understand. But now I'm consumed by lust. I want to kiss her, but I don't know what will happen if I do. Kissing and taking away one's first innocent is something special for demons. Because they are acts deeply connected to the soul. If I kiss her, would I disappear? Or would I only get burnt? Or will nothing happen? I still don't understand, even though I'm a high-ranking demon. Only the gods would know. But he is high-ranking. I'm just a demon and I have no way of knowing. Oh my goodness. He's so passionate. I still couldn't erase my desires, so I cycled through the night at night. I had a feeling I wouldn't be able to resist her as she slept and dreamt. Oh, very responsible of you. Well, I'm off to work.
ああ、行ってらっしゃい。
How about a goodbye kiss?
はいはい。
He said yes. Allan pats me on the head like a child and gives me a kiss on the forehead.
行ってらっしゃい。
Yeah. It's not enough. Kissing only on the forehead is not enough. I wonder if there's a reason why he's so stubborn about kissing me indirectly. He kisses me a lot in my dreams. If you don't do it in real life, there must be a reason, right? I'm sure he noticed that she was hesitant or sad.
悪魔は人間や神の敵だって覚えていればそれでいいよ。
Demon and gods. I don't know either of them very well. Because I was a god who just shot arrows as the 12 Olympians bade. After leaving for work that day, I had secretly returned to Celestia. Oh, really? I thought I would ask my aunt, goddess of wisdom, and one of the 12 Olympians a few questions. Because I wanted to love him without worry, I wanted to know if I could kiss him. What answers awaited me? What answers did I want? Am I even allowed to kiss him? It is this desire alone that brings me back home. I'm sure this is also the result of love. Lady Minerva, I'm home.
おかえり、キューちゃん。元気だった？
My aunt welcomed me with open arms. The sight of her filled me with nostalgia. It's been 6 years since I went to the human world. Well, I have to make sure Dad doesn't find out.
それで今日はどうしたの？わざわざ里帰りまでして会いに来るなんて。
Yeah, I had a question for you, Lady Minerva. There was also the hope that the effects of the Cupid's arrow would disappear when I returned to Celestia. But nothing has changed. I still like Allan. So I went to ask my aunt. With the contents I wanted to discuss in my mind, I opened my mouth cautiously. Lady Minerva, have you ever seen an incubus?
インキュバス？
I nodded my head and then my aunt clapped her hands.
ああ、人間の夢を食う悪魔のことよね。たまに見るわ。
Amazing, that's my aunt. Minerva, god of war and wisdom, I'm impressed that you know a demon that doesn't exist in Celestia. Yes, about that. I accidentally found one recently. Is it okay to leave him alone?
あら、インキュバス程度じゃ神の力に何の影響もないわ。放っておいて平気よ。
Really? Good. If it doesn't affect me in any way, I'm sure we'll be fine being together.
にしても、あなたから悪魔って言葉を聞くなんてね。今までは一度も見たことないでしょ？
Yes. I've never seen one before, so I was curious. What kind of being is a demon?
そうね。
悪魔は冥界に住んでいて、人間の魂を冥界に連れて行ったりもするわ。だから死神って呼ばれたりもするわね。
Gods of death, so then they really are like us gods. But if they're taking souls, then shouldn't someone stop them?
でも悪魔って言っても危険なのは中世の頃に根絶やしにしてるし、最近は小物しかいないわ。それに大抵はジュピターが何とかするわ。だからやばいやつはもういないはずよ。
Are we going to see Jupiter in this one? Because Allan said he's a high-ranking demon. He's just suppressing his powers, obviously.
深海には悪魔は絶対来られないようになっているし、生きていくために人間界で悪いことはしてるみたいだけど、まあ大した問題じゃないわね。ライオンやサメみたいなものよ。人間にとっての危険度はね。
I see. Demons are like gods if you think about it. The words of Ra, who has said something like that, suddenly came rushing back. But since I'm a lower god, I don't have to worry so much about it. If anything happens, Lord Jupiter will be there.
聞きたいのはそれだけ？
Can you fall in love with one? Actually, there's one more thing. I mumbled as I touched the Cupid's bow necklace on me. I want to ask, but it's so hard to. I couldn't ask if it was okay if I pricked myself with the arrow and fell in love with a demon. It was too embarrassing. Is it okay for a god to fall in love with a human? I asked her fearfully and obliquely, as if I were someone else, but it didn't work.
あらキューちゃん、恋したの？
My aunt cupped my cheek with both hands, her words quick and happy. Well, yeah.
あ、もちろん神が恋しても平気よ。むしろどんどんやってっちゃった方がいいわ。神は経験が命よ。人間を導くためには人間に寄り添った考えを学ぶ必要があるもの。だからキューちゃんは心配しないで。心ゆくまでその人と大恋愛しちゃって。
Who does she think him is? The human or the demon? Oh, I see. I'm glad. I felt relieved because I was prepared to get yelled at.
それで相手はどんな人なの？キスはもうした？それはまだかしら。今はどんな雰囲気なの？
That's right, my aunt loves to talk about romance. Even in Celestia, we would watch a ton of romance comedy movies and she'd say, I want to make out like this. Oh my goodness. I haven't kissed him yet. I like him, but I feel he's being overprotective of me. He knows I like him and he does date me, but it doesn't feel like it's mutual. He'll take good care of me, but I don't know if that's enough.
結構優しい人が相手なのね。でもそれなら脈ありじゃない？
Is that so?
人間の男は植物的よ。あなたが好きだって知ってるのに手を出してこないなんて誠実じゃない。ほら、キューちゃんだって深海で見てきたでしょ？さっさと手を出して捨てるようなクズ男。そうじゃないってことは紳士的じゃない。
Well, yeah, I guess. But I think the reason he hasn't touched me is because he's not interested in anything but dreams. I couldn't say that, so I smiled vaguely. Because even if the love between a god and a human were allowed, that doesn't seem to be the case for a god and a demon.
でもあのキューちゃんがようやく恋をしたのね。私と同じね。
Same as Aunt Minerva. You were in love too.
あら、言わなかった？私にはたった一人生涯かけて愛した人がいるの。
Her voice reminisced of a love-struck girl as Aunt Minerva began talking.
もう何千年経ったかしら。それでも昨日のことのように覚えているわ。あの人の声、眼差し、ぬくもり、どれも忘れられない。 私にとって一番大切な記憶よ。
So Auntie was in love too. Gods are free to love humans. Even Auntie had a lover, which means I have nothing to worry about. Even if the person was a demon, I'm allowed to have this love. Now go kiss him. Dang it. Well, that's where I need to stop because taboo, but it's still in reach for you. What? I still reach for you? Taboo, but I still reach for you. And the one after that is called Demon's Kiss. So we gotta wait 2 more sections to get the kiss. Dang it. Oh well. This is where I do need to stop. And of course, it's an hour and 46 minutes with a little bit shaved off during editing. So it's because of my screenshot. Well, at least it's not like a 3-hour video like Allan's was because I couldn't get a screenshot. Anyway, that is where we're going to stop this episode. I hope you guys enjoyed. I'm really curious which one of my predictions is going to be the case for this one. Since he is admittedly saying that he's in love with her, I'm willing to think that I think Jupiter, like I said that a god's going to rain on their parade, it's probably going to be Jupiter. He's probably when he kisses her, something is probably going to like trigger in him, and I think Jupiter is going to interfere. So I can't wait. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, drop a like down below and or subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.